I think the most interesting aspect would be to see all of these great, excellent, and well-talented teams put their ideas together, put their efforts together, and come up with some amazing products. Because a team that can build a drone with these particular specifications is a team that we believe can do just about anything.
You're listening to the Drone Radio Show podcast, the show about drones and the people who use them for business, fun, and research. Hosted by Randy Goers.
Hello, everyone. This is Randy Goers, and welcome to the Drone Radio Show podcast, episode 188. Do you think you can build the best drone delivery system in the world? If the answer is yes, then there are a million reasons why you want to listen to today's guest. Anas Zeineddine is director of Krypto Labs, a grassroots innovation hub with a unique ecosystem for funding groundbreaking early-stage startups. Based in Abu Dhabi, in July 2018, Krypto Labs announced its first global challenge, the Drone X Challenge 2020. The challenge aims to transcend beyond the limits of innovation in drone technologies. It will reward the winner an astounding $1 million in US dollars. In this edition of the Drone Radio Show, Anas talks about Krypto Labs, the Drone X Challenge 2020, and he shares some perspectives on the drone industry. Joining us for a portion of the interview is Dr. Mohammed Adnan, the technical product lead at Krypto Labs. But before we hear from Anas and Dr. Adnan, I want to thank those of you who are supporting my funding campaign. Now you have the option of making a one-time donation in any amount by going to droneradioshow.com/donate. Whether it's $1, $100, or much more, you can help defray the cost of production and keep the podcast going and growing. And if you'd like to make a monthly contribution, you can still go to patreon.com/droneradioshow. So let's learn how we can compete for a chance to win $1 million in the Drone X Challenge 2020 with Anas Zeineddine and Dr. Mohammed Adnan. Let's pick up the interview where I asked Anas to introduce himself.
Thank you for having me. My name is Anas Zeineddine, and I'm the director of Krypto Labs. Krypto Labs is an innovation hub based in Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates, which was established early in January 2018 and serves as an innovation hub for the country and for the region, where we provide incubation acceleration service to startups. We also invest in startups. We have co-working space, and we do a lot of corporate innovation and ecosystem development programs for private and government entities.
I imagine that Krypto Labs is involved with all types of technology, not just on the drone space.
Correct. We focus on all industries and all sectors. We also do industry-specific competitions. We launched the drones competition, which concluded in May. And this particular drones challenge is basically an additional follow-up to that at a much larger scale.
Okay, so let's dive right into the Drone Challenge 2020. What's it all about?
Essentially, this challenge was picked out to focus on two types of drones, on fixed-wing and multi-rotor drones. The objective is to find a team that can develop drones based on the specifications that we have outlined. We have researched the market in terms of what is currently available for fixed-wing and multi-rotor drones that are both battery-powered and hydrocarbon-powered. And we have come up with a challenge to teams to basically take things a notch up higher and present this $1 million prize for the team that is able to properly design and deliver the drone based on the specifications that we are looking for. The ultimate objective is for delivery of products across greater distances, so basically improving the endurance and payload of the drones.
Is the intent to come up with a new and different drone from what's being made today? Or is it to leverage what we have today to create an entirely different use case?
No, it's actually leveraging what we currently have today existing, but simply improving the overall performance of the drones. So a lot of the drones have the basic characteristics, and our challenge simply presents an additional notch up in terms of endurance and payload that we want to have these drones have that capability as a final product.
Let's talk about the teams. Who might be best suited to apply for the challenge?
So the teams that should apply are essentially startups, university teams, R&D entities, or it could even be small drones companies, or even large drones companies and manufacturers who do have connections to smaller teams that are looking for this. It's a very wide range of people that we are looking for. I mean, hence the substantial amount in the prize itself, because we want to broaden this as much as possible to enable people from all sorts of backgrounds, whether individual entrepreneurs or whether large companies that are already innovating in this particular field, to be able to take up this challenge and deliver a drone with the capabilities we are looking for.
Suppose a team has an idea, but nothing's been developed yet. Is the competition for them? Or should they have a working prototype or something more?
Now, it definitely is open to teams that just have the ideas, but these teams also need to ensure that they have the proper partners, the proper teams, and the proper resources in place to be able to fully design and execute this project. The teams that are selected, the teams that will be shortlisted, will be given R&D grants, and this amount of money will be able to help them follow through with the design, engineering, and manufacturing of a prototype model. So it's taking it much beyond just simply having an idea. It's also focused more on the actual delivery of the final product, meeting these characteristics we're looking for.
Now, last year, Krypto Labs sponsored their first drone competition. Can you tell us about that?
The first competition that we had was for drone startups. So these were early stage drone startups that had ideas, or more importantly, that had some sort of a prototype in the field of drone. And this could be an actual drone, a positioning system, a battery charging system, a drone that can maneuver in different angles and different directions. So it focused on startups that had some sort of an existing prototype, and we received several hundred applications from over 70 countries worldwide. We selected the top 5 teams. They presented, and we had a pitch competition in front of a number of investors. The winning company was a Swiss-based company that had an acrobatic drone, and we've ended up investing in them. But other companies that were there also ended up getting investors interested in their products as well. So due to the success of that initial competition, we saw the potential in the drones industry. We saw the capability in a lot of the innovators in this particular field. And that's really what prompted us to bring forth this challenge, which is the DroneX Challenge 2020.
Does the DroneX Challenge 2020 follow along with last year's program?
Well, this particular challenge is much different than the competition. With a competition, you're looking for existing technologies. So startups that already have a product, already have a prototype, they are simply applying to the competition. With this particular challenge, we are looking for a drone that commercially does not exist today in the exact specifications we are looking for. And hence why it's a challenge, because we are putting this up front for drone companies, manufacturers, innovators, and startups to put together a drone with the specifications we have. And this is why this is a much longer challenge. This is an 18-month program versus the previous competitions, which are much shorter in duration. In this challenge, we also shortlist the top innovators, and we give them R&D money so that they can actually develop their prototype and so that they can demonstrate it on the final event day.
What are the categories for the challenge, and what's required in each?
Yes, so the two main categories for the types of drones are fixed-wing drones and multi-rotor drones on the hardware side. And the type of fuel that we are looking for are ones that are battery-powered or hydrocarbon-powered. So, for instance, for a fixed-wing drone that's battery-powered, we're looking for something that has a payload of at least 15 kilograms and endurance of 45 minutes. Whereas if it's hydrocarbon powered, then the payload goes up to 50 kilograms and the endurance goes up to 360 minutes. So this is a challenge, particularly for the battery powered ones, to produce something of that sort. It could also be a hybrid model as well, where it can be both battery and hydrocarbon powered. And this goes the same for the multi-rotor drones. So we have set very specific limits in terms of the payload and endurance based on the research that we have done to determine what we want to optimally achieve for a drone that can deliver a product with that particular weight and endurance.
Now, as I understand it, you've already made the call for entries.
Yes, correct. The applications have been open and they close on January 10th, 2019. After that date, we will shortlist the top companies or startups or teams that will be awarded the R&D grants that will be taken into the next phase, into phase 2 and phase 3. So this is actually for phase 1. The overall competition is divided into 3 distinct phases. So phase 1 is design. Phase 2 is developing and providing an MVP. And phase 3 is the final stage, which is demonstrating for the final teams that will be presenting in the spring of 2020 at a final day event.
How many teams are you expecting to participate in this challenge?
From the initial drones competition, we had over 700 applications from drone startups globally. And we shortlisted about 200 really good ones. And then from that, we got down to the top 5. Given that this is a challenge, I expect the applications to be probably similar, given the $1 million prize. So we expect a lot of the previous startups to apply, the ones that are able to meet this challenge. But we also expect to attract a lot of new companies, particularly from R&D entities, given that this is a much larger prize and it's a longer duration and it's a lot more high profile. And more importantly, aside from the prize, this also presents an incredible opportunity for this company to present itself as a pioneer of being able to deliver a drone that has substantial payload and endurance for delivery purposes. In the UAE, in the region, and in a lot of places around the world today, we're seeing a higher trend now towards delivery by drone. And this is one of the reasons why we specifically came up with this challenge, because we see it presents an incredible opportunity locally and globally.
Can you give us an idea of what goes into organizing a global competition of this scale?
From our end, there's a lot of planning, and in terms of launching a successful marketing campaign, I would say this is the most challenging part, because these are very expensive campaigns, but you want to try and target the relevant startups and the relevant companies. So we tap into the entrepreneurial communities, and we also tap into universities and R&D centers. But it's just simply being able to connect with the relevant organizations, communities, and forums where a lot of these drones companies have a connection.
Is Abu Dhabi considered a robust area for drone companies?
Well, I would say the UAE in general is very aggressive, very forward-thinking toward drones. You've probably heard of a lot of the flying taxis or the delivery by drones. I mean, there's definitely a lot of drone interest per se in the UAE, and we're just basically complementing that by continuing on with our drone development and our interest in drone. But again, more importantly, to become pioneers and bringing forth tangible solutions that can solve a lot of the delivery problems and opportunities that we see today.
Is there anything that we missed regarding the Drone X Challenge 2020?
I think we've pretty much covered it all. We're very excited about this challenge, and we hope that we can attract a lot of startups, a lot of companies, and even the larger companies to take on this challenge. This is definitely going to be a game changer in the next few years, as we see a lot of deliveries heading towards drones technology. And I think whoever wins this prize will be very, very well positioned to a lot of significant opportunities to come in the future.
Dr. Adnan, would you like to add something?
Actually, we wanted to see a lot of innovative applications that we can bring out of these fixed wing and multi-rotor drones. We are also giving a lot of weightage in terms of competition, like on scalability, on if somebody can come up with a more autonomous navigation system. Because from our drone innovation startup contest, we have seen a lot of innovative startup companies and basically working on cutting edge technologies. And we do not want to stop at that. We want to promote more innovation. So we would like to see more of state-of-the-art avionics, advanced control systems, systems and algorithms that work on fault tolerance, etc.
So is the challenge considered a huge step above what we currently see?
For the challenges that we have set up, yes, we do consider, especially in building robust drones, because anybody can claim that they built a multi-rotor drone that can carry 50 kilograms for 45 minutes. but actually to have something as stable and deliver a payload accurately, that's still quite challenging for many startup companies to do that very accurately. Autonomy is a major challenge, and we believe that, as Krypto Labs believes that, setting these challenges, we can drive forward innovation. And we think that we can actually leap forward more with setting such challenges.
Getting back to Krypto Labs, what separates this company from other accelerators or incubators?
Good question. So what makes Krypto Labs unique is the fact that Krypto Labs is not just an incubator, it's more of an innovation hub, because we don't just incubate companies. We incubate companies that are early stage. We also help companies that are at the advanced stage by accelerating them and providing various incubation acceleration programs. We also directly invest into the startups ourselves. We have a strong network with one of the most aggressive seed accelerators and VC investors globally, based in Silicon Valley. We also have a lot of corporate innovation and ecosystem development programs that we offer here to corporations and government departments. We generally see that the entire corporate landscape is changing and is heading in towards a more entrepreneurial mindset. So we are positioned to play a big role in that, particularly in the UE and in the region. And this is why we offer a lot of these different broad services that other incubators don't.
For the teams that get shortlisted, what type of support will they get from Krypto Labs?
During the final phases of the program, there will be a lot more engagement between the startups that are shortlisted and our team here, where we will actually help them and then walk them through whatever levels of support we can. We have an extensive network of mentors that they can reach out to. And we have some of our own initiatives that we are working on in the field of drone development ourselves as well. So they will definitely receive support throughout the process itself. But more importantly, what we are also setting up the winner for is the significant success that they will receive after becoming the winner of this prize, and the ability to fully commercialize their product and be able to produce it at mass scale and have this as a success story as a drones company.
Can you share an example of a previous company that benefited by participating in a Krypto Lab program?
Sure. So for one of our first competitions, for instance, we had a company that does 3D modeling of urban areas, and they're based in the Netherlands. So they won the competition. We've invested in them. And throughout the past 8 or 9 months, we've actually been supporting them by opening up doorways. So aside from investment, we also link them up with mentors, which we have done for them. We link them up with various commercial side, with certain entities that can actually support them. So this company, for example, we linked them up with one of the most sustainable cities globally, which is based here in Abu Dhabi, where they're taking a pilot project for developing 3D modeling of the entire urban area. So this is an example of how we not only invest financially in these companies, but we also support them throughout the entire process as well by linking them up with other potential investors or with potential clients.
Based on your experience, what is the key quality that teams should possess to be successful in a challenge like this?
Now, one of the main fundamental factors is the background of the founders. So a lot of people have great ideas, but the question is, what have you actually done with that great idea, or what potential do you have with executing that idea? So we always look to the founders, we look at their history, we look at what they've done, have they built and exited from companies previously, what their background is, where they've worked, what achievements they've made, because the biggest success to any startup is not just simply the idea, but it's also the founders and the brains behind that particular idea that will help transform it into a viable commercial product.
What advice would you give to prospective applicants looking to put themselves in the best possible position to compete in this challenge?
I think my advice would be to definitely bring on the talent and the skill set of all of the experience that you have individually, and also linking up with excellent like-minded team members who have also either founded a company or have extensive experience in a particular area. And also, I think the variety and the diversity of background knowledge and experience in any particular field. In drones, for example, yes, it's important to have a good technical, engineering, scientific background where you're developing hardware and software. It's equally important to have good business and marketing experience so you can identify how are you actually going to market this product. Because you can have the best drone in the world, you can have the best product out there, but if you don't have the intellect or the means to be able to properly deliver your message, to be able to showcase it, to market it, to sell it, then you simply have a great product that just ends up sitting on the shelf, and you won't be able to attract investors, nor will you be able to ever reach any clients.
From your vantage point in the UAE, how is the drone industry evolving in the Middle East, and where do you think it's headed?
We've seen the drone industry evolve globally, but more specifically in the Middle East, where it's really evolving is, in the field of security, such as border patrol, coastal patrols, for example, and from a security standpoint, and also in the field of delivery. Given particularly that the UAE has positioned itself on the map as a global transportation hub, having some of the world's largest airports and largest airlines, the UAE also wants to become the first in everything. And when it comes to delivery by drone, this is definitely the biggest focus right now. So there's definitely a number of applications, like I said, from security to agricultural to climate change applications to delivery by drone. So there's definitely a lot of different industries and sectors where this can be applied.
Are there many small drone startups or small companies in the UAE?
There are some startups locally that are definitely working on some initiatives. We actually have our own in-house initiatives in this particular field. But I would say the majority of the applications where drones are actually being used are certainly coming from well-established drones companies and manufacturers from outside the region, primarily from Europe and the United States.
And for my final question, what message would you like to leave regarding the Drone X Challenge 2020 and what it means for the future?
Well, I think the significance that drones has played already and will continue to play will definitely be a major disruptor to a lot of industries, primarily transportation, security, and will also complement a lot of other industries such as agriculture and climate change. So no doubt will the drone industry grow, and no doubt will we will definitely see a much more significant trend in the use of drones, both on the application side, and you'll expect to see a lot of regulations also being modified and amended to facilitate for that. And from this particular challenge, we are essentially looking at two things. Number one are creative, talented teams who can take part in this challenge and who can bring forth the particular products, the final products that we are looking for that meets these particular technical specifications. But I would say more importantly is the human capability and the human capital and the capacity building that will take place throughout this challenge from the time that these teams are formulated until the final day event, which is close to 18 months. I think the most interesting aspect would be to see all of these great, excellent, and well-talented teams put their ideas together, put their efforts together, and come up with some amazing products. Because a team that can build a drone with these particular specifications is a team that we believe can do just about anything. So I think the human capability is the more significant factor in this case.
That's it for episode 188 of the Drone Radio Show. I hope you enjoyed hearing from Anas Zeineddine and Dr. Mohammed Adnan of Krypto Labs. I want to thank Anas and Dr. Adnan for taking the time to speak with me. If you want to learn more about the Drone X Challenge 2020, Krypto Labs, or want to connect with Anas, check out the webpage at kryptolabs.io. If you like the Drone Radio Show, please consider supporting the podcast with a small donation. The content is always free, but for as little as $1, you can help defray the cost of production. To donate, go to droneradioshow.com/donate or patreon.com/droneradioshow. And thanks for listening. Your support means a lot to me, and I hope you'll listen to more episodes of the Drone Radio Show podcast to hear how others are using drones for business, fun, and research. For the Drone Radio Show, I'm Randy Goers.
This has been the Drone Radio Show podcast. More information on today's show can be found on our website at www.droneradioshow.com. If you're using drone technology for business, fun, or research and would like to share your experience on the show, please visit our website and fill out a guest appearance application. And don't forget to follow us on your favorite social media channels.